Welcome to the Weekend Roundup. My name is Dean Blundell. You can get me at deanblundell.substack.com. That right there, that gentleman right there, that beautiful man right there is Lev Parnas, former Trump and Giuliani fixer turned award-winning whistleblower, best-selling author. He was the chief sausage maker in the MAGA sausage factory, and now he's using his dark, loving skills to be able to fight back to save democracy in the United States. Lev Parnas. Lev Remembers is where you can find Lev. Usually every Monday you'll find us here. Save a couple of Mondays. We had a couple of weeks off over Christmas. What we'd like to do is we kind of wrap up what happened on the weekend, and holy shit, dude. We got a lot to talk about today. Trump invaded Venezuela. And then now they're not calling it an invasion. They're not even calling it a military act. They're calling it a law enforcement act. They're saying they're running Venezuela. Now they're saying they're not running Venezuela. We had the UN Security Council emergency meeting yesterday, widely condemned. We'll get to some of that as well. And this has been going on not since 2019. We'll get to Russia and Trump's Ukraine for Venezuela swap bullshit in a minute. We'll also get to the exile conversation when it comes to Maduro, but this has been going on since 2017. The Trump regime has been trying desperately to get their hands on Venezuelans' shit, their stuff, their rare earth, their minerals, their steel, their oil. Now the cat's out of the bag. The mask is off. Everybody's saying the quiet shit out loud. And we have someone who was here, someone who was the tip of the spear for the first effort to get Maduro out of office. His name is Lev Parnas, ladies and gentlemen, and he joins us. We got story time today. We got picture time today to prove all this to you. We're going to walk you through the mainstream media narrative today. You and I just literally finished watching all of our friends go live. You and I literally were supposed to do this an hour ago, and you're like, let's let everybody gas themselves out, and then we'll come on and we'll tell everybody really what's going on and take nothing away from any of those people. But listen, this is going to be the real. We're going to talk a lot about what happened in Venezuela. We're going to talk about the underpinnings of it. But more importantly, we're going to talk about the theater of it. Lev, you know this more than anybody. That was fucking theater on the weekend.
Oh, and it's all theater playing out. First of all, welcome everybody. I hope you had a somewhat of a peaceful weekend. Like my wonderful co-host over here just said, Dean, we were supposed to go live at 1 o'clock. Reason we didn't, there was a lot of people going live talking about the Maduro arraignment, what was going on. But there was one show that I did join, and I hope a lot of you joined and watched, was with Wajahid Ali and Miles Taylor. That was an important show, and I'm glad that you guys, for those of you that didn't have to be conflicted between coming on here and watching that, and that's why we decided to reschedule it. But there was a lot of important information, Dean. I don't know if you got a chance to watch it, that we discussed.
I did.
That because Miles was on the other side in the White House. John Bolton was in the White House. They heard all, and that's how I was listening to the conversation, and Miles was talking about how in 2019 something all of a sudden happened. We needed to see it, and I said, when I heard that, I said, Waj, get me up here quickly. I needed to come up there because that's a very important part, because what was taking place, folks, at the time was, this is when the original plan got hatched, this is when contracts were already signed, this is when the oil deals were done. Everything was supposed to take place. And this is another reason why a lot of folks don't know the real reason why John Bolton is very high on Donald Trump's retribution list. Not only because he doesn't like the way he speaks about him. A lot of people speak about him. But John Bolton did something that a lot of people don't know, and we're going to tell you today. John Bolton basically stopped in 2019. There was already a negotiated soft landing that Trump was going to do. He was going to give Maduro and his vice president, Dulce, and his defense minister and others a soft landing to actually move into the United States. Maduro was even joking about wearing a Dallas Cowboy and moving down to Texas. The reason why he wanted to move down to Texas, he had a good relationship with Congressman Pete Sessions. Congressman Pete Sessions actually flew down
Shocker.
to Venezuela. So yeah. So, and Sessions was on the call with us with Maduro at the
Yeah.
time to be able to do it. So, uh, uh, everything was in play. In return, Maduro and PDVSA, the state capital, gave us 2 billion barrels of oil, basically for free. When the oil was at like $60-$70 a barrel, you guys could do the numbers. There was a wide group of Republican people that were not only part of the group that were part of the White House, people like Giuliani and lawyers, or people that worked in, very secretive departments in our country. But there was a wide group of people that were involved, and we had boots on the ground. That's why I said when going back to 2019.
In
Uh,
2019, there were boots on the
yeah,
ground already. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. The CIA was back then. We had boots on the ground. There were talks about taking Maduro out several times, going back and forth. And the interesting part, and this is what I want to tell everybody that's interesting, because you're seeing something play out and everybody's confused. They're like, why is the vice president there? Isn't she a hardliner like Maduro? Like, is it? I want to make it clean. The reason why Trump is saying and left the administration there, the reason why he didn't, acknowledge Machado, the popular,
Opposition leader. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the popular opposition leader, I
Yeah,
think
she won in a
80%.
landslide the last election, and
Right.
Maduro just told her to go fuck herself. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly. And I want to make it clear. I know a lot of people are right now jumping on. I don't want you guys to get distracted with P tapes. If you remember in the first administration, I call it P tapes. In the first, the biggest thing where the Democrats and I think the media screwed up when it came to Donald Trump is when they had a fascination of trying to prove that there was some sort of P tapes
Yeah.
that the Russians had against Donald Trump. And because that was not true, that enabled Donald Trump, that enabled us, that enabled Mega to be able to turn that and to use it as a hoax, to be able to play it. And eventually, you saw with the Steele dossier and all the holes that happened, it allowed Trump to be able to spin that whole thing around, which is now most of the world doesn't even know what happened, is not even really understanding.
Hmm.
Same thing here. This is what's taking place. Don't get distracted on exactly what's taking place. Oh, Maduro, we got Maduro. Everybody's happy. Why are people happy? Maduro is one person. The whole administration's still intact. Delcy is,
She's a hardliner
she's
like him. She was
she's our
his defense minister is his fucking enforcer. He's still there.
exactly,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and all his defense ministers, all of the, this is all pre-planned. And also, I like the article you sent me about the journalist that now is starting to report actually on what we broke and what I was talking about, that this was not just done. This was not an inside coup. I
Hmm.
mean, just done by the Donald Trump regime and the Venezuelans. This was a very strategical done. You had some very powerful donors that I know personally, my ex partners that were involved, that were in the negotiations, in the conversations. Then you had also the Russians, and I told you guys that January 1st, there was an actual call between, nobody's still talking about it. 6 months from now, they'll tell you about it, where Kushner and Witkoff and Dmitriev, and they talked about that they were going to go, they needed to get Maduro, and it was discussed. Because the one thing that people don't understand, not Maduro didn't only have his own secret security force and everything. Maduro also had the Chinese, the Russians, the Cubans, and others that were protecting him. And for some reason, you want to talk about that thing you sent me
Yeah,
about
I want to bring this up because listen, what Lev is explaining to us is this didn't just happen on the weekend. The wheels were put in motion for this in 2017. Lev was the tip of the spear, went down, negotiated a soft landing for Maduro and several of his cabinet members to move to the United States in exchange for enriching Donald Trump and his regime to the tune of, if I'm doing the math correctly, 2 billion at 60 to 70 dollars a barrel. We're looking at 120 to 140 billion dollars just to get him out, and everybody collects these spoils. But the interesting part, and I go back to this all the time, and it happened this weekend. You and I were laughing about how happy Maduro looked to be boarding a Black Hawk or Chinook helicopter, being taken to the USS Iwo Jima, wearing a variety of tracksuits and toques in almost every picture with the FBI, the DEA, giving the thumbs up, smiling and laughing. And I'm like, this is fucked. And you and I talked to Malcolm about it on the weekend. Malcolm Nance, of course. Go watch Coffee and Tea with Levin Dean. It's brilliant. And Malcolm really, and you really introduced the idea that this has been going on and in the works for a long time. This was not an invasion. This was theater. This was prearranged. This is staged. And I come back to that over and over and over again. And it's been absolutely ferreted out by some really cool reporters. Dave Troy, former Washington Examiner reporter. He's now an entrepreneur, just a super bright guy. He's really plugged in. I sent this to you today. Dave Troy says this at Dave Troy on Twitter. The signals I'm hearing, which cannot be confirmed, are that Maduro's security, who were former Wagner people with Chinese and Cuban security mixed in, if that's correct, collaborated with the U.S. military, and that Maduro has been offered, but not yet accepted, exile in Moscow.
100%. I mean, that's why, like, people are starting to pick up what January 1st. If you take a look at the letter, my very first letter of the new year was, I said that we are going to, after hearing the conversations, they're going to go after Maduro in the first week of January. The only thing I didn't know was going to be that quick, because I was taking the day off, and I didn't realize that January 5th was going to be the Epstein, the Congress is going to come back into session. And that's why you saw it happen prior to that. Because what you're seeing today, just think about what we're seeing today, folks. Today is January 5th. Today, Congress gets back into session. Today, right now, the DOJ, Pam Bondi are in contempt of, they're breaking the law. They're not producing the files. They're
In
covering
contempt of
up.
the Epstein Files Transparency
They're
Act. Yeah,
contempt
yeah.
exactly. And what we were supposed to see, what we were waiting to see, what everybody was waiting to, talking about, that after the holidays, as soon as January 5th comes along, that there's a bipartisan already group. Everybody, you have the Republicans, the Democrats, everybody on the same side, that there's already impeachment records that are being drawn up, that Pam Bondi, we're going to get accountability. What are we seeing today? I told you that's why me and Waj went and did our Wajahid Ali. We did a special last night, literally at 9 o'clock at night, breaking this, talking about that this can happen, and that's why I'm going to have Congressman Jamie Raskin on my show tomorrow, and that's why we're going to keep pushing, and that's why part of what needs to transpire is because what you're watching play out on TV is, think about it, it's already 2:30 in the afternoon here on the east side. Since 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning, we've been regurgitating, not we, but the media and everybody else. And if you go on any of these Substack lives and everybody, they're regurgitating the same thing. What cell is Maduro going to say? How did Maduro respond that we're going to say not guilty? Did Maduro, is he going to, what is his lawyers? Where is his lawyers from? I mean, who cares, folks? Yes, this should be a blurb on the thing, because this is the distraction that Trump and the media are trying to do right now. We should be right now talking about the Epstein survivors. We should be right now talking about the Epstein accountability right now, because look, a lot of people say, yeah, but love, that's also important. This is history. This is we just went out and took out another president from another country. I agree with you, folks. I agree with you that there's a lot of bad things happening in our country. I agree with you that Trump is doing a lot of bad things in our country. But the one thing that everybody keeps asking me, and this is very important, Dean, and this is why I want to make a very important for everybody to listen very carefully, hit those hearts, and I want you to change this. The one thing everybody asks is, how do we stop this? How do we fix this? How do we get our democracy back? Because this is such a shit show. This is, I can't take this anymore. Well, I'm telling you, we have the weapon, we have it, and we have to keep our eye on the ball, because Donald Trump is doing everything and his people that they can to distract you from it. Because you have the only thing that we have today going for us as a country that we could all agree upon. Think about it. We are so divided as a country. The only thing we could agree upon is the release of the Epstein file. That's the one thing we as a country can agree upon. So let's take that
89%
aside.
of Americans polled want to see the Epstein files. Yeah.
So now let's put this. Where's the weapon? That is our weapon, because now
Mm.
put it on the side for a second. Right now, what you're seeing play out on all the television shows, you saw it happen on the Sunday shows, and you're seeing it happen on all of the shows. Is you're seeing Republicans now are coming out and defending Trump of bringing in Maduro, because
Mm.
why? Maduro's a bad guy. Maduro is a bad guy. So it's easy for them to keep putting the Democrats, putting the cable television networks into a bind, putting him into a corner. Because if you take a look at any of these interviews, they end up the same way. Well, are you supporting drugs into our country? Do you want our kids being killed? And they go on these rants, and it's the same thing. We need to stop that. We need to stop giving them that platform to be able to go out there and distract. What we need to be doing is doing what is we have exactly as our weapon. The weapon is that we have a bipartisan right now. The Republicans and Democrats. You have a full force with Marjorie Taylor Greene and others in Congress that are after Johnson's head. The gavel. We should be concentrating right now to take the gavel away. To
Mhm.
start, not wait till 2020 midterms, not wait until Donald Trump does the Insurrection Act, but do it now. And we have it. We have the Epstein files. Go out there right now, start impeachment, start accountability. Because once you do that, once we get back some sort of accountability and strength, then, folks, we could look into what Trump did in Venezuela. Then, folks, we could look into what Trump is doing in other places. Because
Yeah, it's a
right
waste of
now,
time right now.
thank you, Dean. Because right now, all of the pundits are saying, and all of these people that are screaming out there, we need accountability. How did we go steal this leader? You know what? Yes, but to get that, we need to get the power back. And that's what Trump and Stephen Miller, and this is why I keep sounding the alarms. That's why I keep going live everywhere I can. That's why I keep going on all these platforms. Folks, keep your eye on the ball. This is what Meg is about. This is exactly what. Do not get distracted. Yes, it's history. Yes, do we should watch it? Absolutely. Is it important that we went and did this? Absolutely. But to be able to fix it, to be able to get accountability, we have to get control back into the hands of some sane people. And
Mhm.
to do that, we have one way. Right now, one thing. We don't have 100 different things, folks. We have one thing. And unfortunately, it's on the backs of those poor survivors. It's the Epstein files. And those Epstein, and because they are already in, broke the law, and there's no defense to it, and do not let them get away. When we have the press conferences, we shouldn't have people saying, "Oh, why did you take Maduro? Who's running the country?" Who cares who's running the country right now? Nobody could do. No, none of us could fix it. Not one Democrat or Republican could don't fix it right now. Whatever Trump is doing, you know how you can't fix it right now. If you start impeaching Pam Bondi, if you start subpoenaing records of the all of the stuff, because you know what happens, folks. All of a sudden, now they're on the defense. They're distracted. Now they can't distract you. Now they can't go worry about. Now whatever they're doing starts imploding because they're dealing with you. And they're marvelous. Ellie Leonard is here. I'm so happy you're joining us, Ellie, because
Guys,
this is like very important conversation about keeping our eye on the ball, staying focused,
Yeah.
and not jumping right now on the bandwagon and chasing because this is wag the war.
Yeah.
This is this is
Wag the dog.
exactly wag the dog.
Well,
I'm
and
sorry.
listen,
This is
listen. You
exactly.
bring up so many great points. Ellie Leonard joins us, the panicked writer now. Paige, she's a full time writer here on Substack. She's been through almost every single Epstein document. So the reason why we wanted her on today was to talk about what's not getting talked about, because this weekend we had a couple of fucking bombshells that Ellie uncovered, which is why she's such a grinder and one of the biggest news getters here on Substack. So we're going to talk about what everybody's missing in just a second. Back to what you're saying, Lev, which is really fucking important, is we had a staged invasion and kidnapping of the president of fucking Venezuela and his wife. His regime is still in charge. Last night on Air Force One, Donald Trump was like, "This is just about fucking oil." They're like, "What did you do this for?" He goes, "It's fucking oil. That's why I'm here. That's what we're doing." You had Lindsey Graham, giddy as fuck, walking out of the Air Force One bathroom going, "Hey, Cuba, you're next." And then they're talking about other countries are going to take over, including Greenland. So the bloodlust is in the air for the Trump regime. This was a big win. But to your point, nobody says Maduro's a good guy. Nobody says that they don't need regime change there. Everybody with a brain who understands geopolitics and what happened with one country actually going after another fucking UN country and an ally of the United States is that there were 21 different international laws broken this weekend by the Trump regime alone, on top of the 36 domestic human rights laws he has violated in the United States. And there's a laundry list of criminality that I don't want to get to now. You can go to deanblundell.substack.com and check it out. But my point is, on top of all the criminality and this staged kidnapping of the president of Venezuela and his wife, on top of all that, over 122 confirmed dead in Venezuela
Yeah.
this weekend. 80 people yesterday, another 40 today. Of those 120, roughly half were fucking civilians, Lev. They were just people
Yeah.
sleeping in their fucking homes. And these were lives, these were human beings that Donald Trump on Air Force One yesterday came out and said, along with Nutlick and Lindsey Graham, hey, we're fucking jacked. We're going to take it all. And by the way, no one was injured. 120 people were killed, including 40 civilians, 80 other people that were killed, including his entire security force, which is fine. Whatever, it is what it is. But the lies on top of lies on top of lies came back to the truth yesterday in a real moment where Donald Trump literally said on Air Force One, when asked and pressed, is this about democracy? He's like, it's about the fucking oil, dude. It's about the fucking oil. But to your point, this is the very first time, Lev, that I have seen him be able to not chase his tail, get in front of the news cycle, and it took 120 dead Venezuelans, the kidnapping of the fucking president of a fucking sovereign nation, and the brazen theft of the minerals, the industries like steel, oil in Venezuela for him to do it. And there's an international outcry this morning. I don't know if you watch what happened at the UN. There's an international outcry this morning, and they're all focusing on the wrong shit. And
Yeah.
everybody's trying to figure out what happened. What were the laws that he broke? How are you gonna? The only way you're gonna figure out what happened and how you fucking consequence him. The only way you're gonna get to accountability. And I'm fucking really glad you said it, Lev, is by taking over the House and the Senate in the midterms. That is it. That is
Or
it. And how do
sooner.
we
We
do it
could do
with
it
the?
sooner. We could do it sooner. This is what I'm saying, Dean. We could do it now. This is why the Epstein file, and that's why we're going to speak to Ellie in a second, because of this is what we need to concentrate right now, because right now we have a bipartisan, we have the Republicans, the Democrats, we have MAGA, we have everybody on our side on one subject. The whole world can agree that we want to release the Epstein files. Donald Trump is against us and the whole world. Why do we need to go anywhere else? Folks, this is what I'm saying to you. Concentrate on the ball. I want to, before I just hand it over to you, Ellie, I want to give you a quote from one of a really good source of mine, inside, really close to Donald Trump. This is what he told me on the phone. He says, "Bro," he goes, "Trump is," and I wrote it down. He goes, "Bro, Trump is acting like a rabid animal that has tasted blood."
Well, did you
Just think
watch him
about
on
that.
Air Force One last night?
Just think about like exactly that's what I'm saying to you. I mean, these are people that are next to him that are shitting bricks, like they're like holy shit. And that's what I'm saying to you. We could be disgusted, we could talk about, but if God forbid the Democrats allow the media and right now fall into this trap of following in and making it all about Venezuela, making it all about what's happening in this trial,
Yeah.
and talking about for the next weeks about how who's his defenses and what motions are going to be filed and how this is. If this is the shit that's going to be in the news, folks, you could kiss your democracy goodbye,
Hmm.
because the only way we're going to save it is if you listen to people like Ellie and Zev and others. You know, look, I'm not one of these investigative journalists. I use my platform to promote them because they're doing some incredible work discovering this stuff, and I could use my information from the inside to add to what they are discovering to connect the dots to you folks. But what I'm telling you is we have the tool. Stop looking for it. Stop acting for it. Just spread the message right now. Get on your phones. While you're sitting here, text your Congress people, email them right now and say, January 5th, what's going on with the Epstein files? Where are the impeachment on Pam Bondi. You will see when I get Congressman Raskin on. This is what we're going to talk about. Now,
Ask him where are the fucking contempt
oh no,
papers for
no, we're gonna
everybody involved.
we're gonna get it done. And not only are we gonna ask him, I promise you, because I know Congressman Raskin, he's an incredible man. He is going to put but I promise you, after we are not gonna leave this alone. The media cycle might take over today. They might have another day, but I promise you, we're not gonna allow this to drag out, because we are going to kill this, snap it, and bring it back, and put the focus back onto where it belongs, and that is the cover up of the pedophilia, but a disgusting, what was going on not only in the United States but all over the world, and that Donald Trump, the president of the United States, is not only covering up but killing people. Because people are dying, just like you said, innocent people for the staged, arrest of Maduro. And the interesting part, one other thing I'm just going to mention, because I so much talk about Ellie, is just think about how there's two people that call this the same thing. Putin never said that he started war with Ukraine. He
It's
called
a
it a special
special operation.
military operation.
Special.
Special. Same thing, Donald Trump. We're not going to war. This was a special operation done
Law
by the
enforcement.
DOJ. Law enforcement
Dude, it was a
operation.
special law enforcement
Special.
operation. They just happen to need Delta Force and a whole bunch of aircraft carriers for it.
Ellie, go ahead. Take it away. Tell
Ellie
us what
Leonard.
yeah.
Hi, guys.
Yeah. Hi, everybody hit the Chiron at the top. Ellie, the panicked writer, is now a full-time Substacker, and she got
Today,
here
full time,
because
first day.
yeah, I
First
know. Hey,
day.
congratulations.
Thank
Congratulations.
you.
Welcome
Thank
to the
you.
show. As we say, welcome to the show. Ellie, I find it interesting because both of you guys live in two different cross sections, but they both interchange with each other, right? And kind of feeding off of what Lev's talking about here, which is the staging of the kidnapping of Nicolas Maduro. And fucking, every time I say it, I laugh, but that's exactly
So
what we're looking at. Yeah, the
you know,
thumbs up. Hey, I'm having a great time with the DEA here in this cold cell. This is a lot of fun. Several thumbs up, smiling, joking around with agents. Like, hey, don't worry, this will be over soon. You'll be in Moscow before you fucking know it. But this was D-Day this weekend for the Epstein files because of today. Because Monday was D-Day. Back to work, Congress. They are in contempt of the Epstein Act. Less than 3% of the total files have been read. Now, the redactions are being questioned, saying, hey, we need to find out what's going on with the redactions. But we also had some unearthing of some really damning shit this weekend that you, my dear, were front and center with. Can you fill us in on what Trump covered up with this staged kidnapping of a Venezuelan president, please?
well, okay. So, as far as the redactions go, 99% of the redactions have nothing to do with survivors. They are lawyers, they are judges, they are people really involved with the trial stuff. They're government officials. They're not survivors. Like every so often, you'll be like, oh, okay, that's probably a survivor, but it's very, very limited. And then oftentimes you read down the article, and their name is at the bottom of the article. So they forgot one, so they redacted like an article's worth of names, and then they left one at the bottom, which kind of defeats the purpose.
It's so
Uh,
MAGA. It's so MAGA.
It's ridiculous. And I called this out like months ago in July during the Ghislaine Maxwell interviews. I said, she's saying names. She's saying people's names and they're not redacting them. And I know for sure that they're all Jane Doe's and she's saying the names. So the things that I found this week, a few things, I think one of the things that really stuck out to me was that in these documents, and I can't verify this is true, but throughout Ghislaine Maxwell's court case, they refer to her husband and her spouse, which would be Scott Borgerson, which I don't think any of us realized she was married. I don't know if it's a legit marriage. I don't know if it's a common law marriage. I don't know if it's officially on the books as a marriage. But this guy is 50 years old. He's a lot younger than her. He would have married her in 2016, and then they moved out to this property in New Hampshire under the names, I think, Scott and Jane Marshall. They set up a new LLC. They bought this 159-acre property out there, and she was in hiding out there until they found her and the FBI pulled her in. So that is something I very much want to dig into, because I want to know who this guy is and why would you marry somebody, because she's going through saying like, oh, I might have to divorce him so he doesn't have to go through all these proceedings. I don't want to put him through that. But it's like if he married her after all this stuff started. He married her in 2016. after Virginia Giuffre's lawsuit, like he knows everything. He stepped into it knowing what he was getting into. And so I want to know why. I want to know if there's a financial reason because now he's worth something like $18 million. If was it to, move the money as it was before with Epstein, or were they in love? And then how did that work? So that was one of the bigger ones. I think one of the things that really struck me this week was the reports on the first suicide attempt, however you want to look at that, from the Metropolitan Correctional Center with Epstein. And so on July 23rd, 2019, he had what they reported as a first suicide attempt. And he had a roommate named Nicholas Tartaglione, and all the reports are different. Like, and somebody kind of jumped on me a little bit and said, "Oh, you can't get on them. Reports are always going to be different. Human nature is nobody says the same thing twice, but they are vastly different. Like, you have people saying, I walked in there, Epstein was awake, we had a conversation, and then we took him to like the nursing unit or whatever. And then you have other people reporting that they were doing CPR on him and chest compression. So it's like those two things can't be just like human nature variation. Those are vastly different situations. And then you have reports of him saying, his roommate was fine. He doesn't want to start anything that's not there. He just woke up and he heard snoring and then he realized it was himself. And then you have other reports of him saying that his roommate was trying to extort him for millions of dollars, which is then backed up by a future roommate that he had just before he, killed himself, who said that he was being extorted by multiple, different people in the jail. He was being mistreated. He was being made to sleep on the floor. And then that Bunky ended up dying of COVID in 2020, supposedly, but he's not reported anywhere as having died of COVID. So it's all very like weird and confusing. And there are so many reports, but they are so vastly different. They don't make sense. And so what I want to know, I just want to dig into that deeper because it's so confusing to me that somebody can even lying say that something is
Can you
so different.
can you
Yeah, go for it.
also? I know you're incredible, and I want you to keep digging in there because you're 100% right with the marriage where she got arrested and
Hmm.
that property there. I remember that whole thing, but the prison, because as I told you, the guy that cleaned up after Epstein
Hmm.
ended up in Otisville with me in my prison and some stuff. So the interesting part that a lot of people are not also noticing: why was Epstein allowed to have a bunkie?
Yeah,
I didn't have a bunkie. I was
right.
myself. I guarantee P Diddy wasn't with the. I guarantee when you
Hmm.
that's what's called segregated the shoe. When you're
Yeah.
in the shoe and when you're in segregated housing unit, it's specified you're 23 hours on lockdown by yourself, unless there are special
Hmm.
circumstances depending, like if you're what your classification, like especially during COVID, they use the shoe also as putting
Yeah.
people in there, which is
Quarantine.
inhumane. But quarantine, exactly. But
Yeah.
which is inhumane. I was one of those people, but it was a part of that. But the fact that Epstein originally being such a high profile
Hmm.
criminal to be put into a bunkie. Then the bunkie who was, because like I'll give you an example. Like even when I was there, like they had to check out who was in the same prison with me at the same time because they
Right.
do that very importantly, so they don't put the same people that are to put that bunkie, and then to have obviously have reports of him being extorted. Then
Yeah.
also after his suicide, putting him again with a bunkie
Right.
with a different.
Right.
I
Is
mean,
that the timeline? Is that what happened? So he suicide attempt, leaves. He's with a bunkie. Suicide attempt, comes back, and they're like, "You're good. You can move back in with this
Yes.
guy."
So so this is how it works. So the timeline is
yeah.
in jail. He was in the shoe for a little bit, but then he was like going out to wreck. Like he was going out in the yard and doing like workouts. But he had this guy, I don't know when he became his roommate. It was sometime in the middle of July. So it would have been like a week or so after he got there.
Yeah.
This all went down on the 23rd. Kicked out that roommate. He went on suicide watch for 24 hours and then they pulled him off suicide watch 24 hours later. And then within the next 6 days, he had a new roommate who was Efren Reyes. Efren Reyes was with him until the 9th of August. Pulled Reyes out. Epstein dies the next day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a
Thank you.
weird timeline.
That's what I say. And when the
Wow.
guy, I don't want to mention his name, but I'm speaking to him. I'm trying to get him the guy that served time with me in
Mhm.
Otisville that did the clean. I'm trying to get him on the show. He's
Yeah.
scared. He doesn't want to get involved. He's
Yeah.
saying, "Lev." He goes.
You're trying
Not
to get
only
the
that,
guy that cleaned up Epstein's murder scene on the show?
No biggie. No
yeah,
biggie.
absolutely. Yeah.
Fuck, I love you. I love you so much, dude. You have no fear. It is the best.
No, fuck it. Yeah, and
Yeah.
he told me, he goes, first of all, he got transferred because he straight to a camp, Otisville. He was not supposed to. He was supposed to be going to a medium security prison, but he got transferred right to a camp. And then he goes that the whole tier, like they got McDonald's or food delivered to them or some shit like that. Like it was a very weird that whole
Mhm.
night. There was just a lot of shit that was going on. He goes, just like there was just a lot of weird shit happening that night.
Mhm.
And also the fact, one thing I want you also to take a look at the pictures. Like somebody that served time and spent a lot of time in the shoe, unfortunately,
Mhm.
you're not allowed to have so many sheets and so many, like there's
Yeah, there were like 20 bed sheets on the floor.
like
Mhm.
that does not happen, folks.
Yeah.
You get one sheet, you get one pill. I mean, you get
Yeah.
such minimal, and if you get caught with extra, you get in trouble. You can't even have it. But again, the fact that he could do it, the shoe, you guys have to understand. If you need to, for people to really understand, it's the shoe is something is so inhumane and so sick. You're in a room by yourself for 23 hours a day, sometimes 24, because the weather's bad or because they don't let you out. You're only allowed showers 2-3 times a week. You have rats and bugs running around. It is freezing. It is
Right.
hot. There is no ventilation. The water is you're drinking from the same water fountain as that you're using to urinate. It's all connected to the same thing. So what I'm saying to you is it's the fact that
Yeah.
he was allowed to have all these stuff, have bunk to go into the yard
Yeah.
at MDC. I mean, that I didn't even know
Well,
that,
on the
Ellie.
same day, like
That's
if you look at,
crazy.
if you, well, and they said that normally you would have someone walk up with you, but like they said in some of the testimony that his roommate was like, no, I'll walk him to the yard. I'll walk with him to the yard. And then, in the videos of, so now we have like something like 13 hours of prison video. I don't know if those 3 minutes are still missing, but we have 13 hours.
Well,
of just
the third, and people are scouring those. That was big news that was also covered
Yeah.
up this weekend. Yeah. To your point, go ahead. Sorry, Ellie.
Well, I was
just
going
wanted
to
to add
say,
that.
like, I don't know how long before he died, but very shortly before he died on the video, they were taking him out to make phone calls. So he was like, he still had a lot of privileges. They were walking him down, making phone calls, walking him back. So, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of funky stuff, and I'm doing some digging.
Okay, so Lev, take me through that funky stuff because you brought up some really valid points, right? You, nonviolent, $2,500 campaign donation, political prisoner, they put you in the shoe. This guy has raped thousands of children and women and trafficked thousands of children and women. Not only does he get roommates, but he gets privileges and he gets the roommate shuffle, right? And now some of those roommates we can't seem to find, and one of them is dead of COVID. So what are we like? What are you drawing from that, Lev, in terms of your experience and what you know?
I'm not even drawing. I'll tell you factually because when
Please.
people don't understand what happens inside the prison system, inside of jails, there's people. They're called rats, informants, people that lie, do whatever it takes to try to rat people out, and they work with the administration. They're not good people. They're not. It's not. But they choose people inside the prison system, like the wardens and the COs and others have their own informants and all. And what they do is like and that's what they did. I think to Epstein. That's why they will sometimes put somebody in with you to be able to like befriend you, to be able to get information for you to start, talking, maybe confessing to certain shit. And and then use them as a witness. Like, this is strategically done with people like that. That, yes. But the fact that the people they were putting with him, these were not type of, these were hardcore. I mean, these are people that, I mean, their records, Ali, you would know better. I mean, but these guys had some, serious, I mean, these were serious criminals.
These are real fucking criminals, right? Like, these are real violent, really shitty. Not to say that Epstein's crimes weren't violent and shitty,
well,
but
no,
yeah.
but you gotta understand, and
It's different.
and also keep in mind the fact that when they said, like Ellie said, Epstein then wrote and said, "Oh, it was me. I by accident, for whatever did it. It wasn't. I was gurgling."
Yeah.
That's a normal thing because you don't talk because you get threatened. Because just think about, he's gonna go talk about that. Yeah, this guy did it, and then they're gonna give him another a selling that it's gonna be someone's gonna take him out. I mean, there's codes inside of those prisons that you don't talk, you just keep quiet. It's like, I'll never forget. We were I'll give you in Otisville. We would have it. So if you would have people, it was a camp. So you would try not to even get into fight. But if people had to go take care of some business, they would go behind the gym. Behind the gym, they would smoke behind the gym. They would do stuff. It was because covered from where the cameras couldn't watch. So I'll never forget, like, there was two guys went at it. One guy had a black eye, I'm saying to you, and he was going to go run and tell. People told him, you better not say that. Say you were playing softball. So next thing you know, the guy's walking into the infirmary saying, I just got hit by a softball. You know what I'm saying? There's certain codes, so by Epstein turning around and saying that he was not, I think that even more shows it because, again, you can't, listen, physically, you can't hang yourself. I mean, your body won't allow you to do it. You have to hang off of
he
something.
Would have to be very, very determined to hang himself in the bedroom because he was sitting. He was sitting down. He'd have to just hold still until he passed out.
I was in those cells. I mean, it's difficult. And plus they check it. The fact that they didn't check it. That's the biggest thing because I don't hear that I've never heard somebody like that. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, cameras. I will give them the cameras broke. I will give them but the fact that's part number one thing in the shoe is why everybody complains you can't sleep here because every 30 minutes they walk in and they don't just shine a light on you, they slam on, they make sure you move. They need to see movement.
And he was right next to the desk. Like his cell was right next to the desk. So my question is like his mentality and some of these things that he's been given that are like extras. I wonder because just looking back at the first case in 2008, like all the things he was given, which I'm sure he paid for, all these little extras. He went into this second indictment. He only had 2 indictments, and that was the same thing he had for the first case. And so it makes me wonder what his mentality was, if he was just despondent and I'm out of here and I can't do this. But it's like it was the same case. And if he fought for it, he probably could have got out of it just the same way he did the first time.
And a guy like that with a God complex has been able to pay his way out of everything and make a phone call to the right guy to get out of everything. You don't think for a fucking second Jeffrey Epstein didn't think he could do that the second time around, Lev, to your point?
Well, that's the whole thing. Not only that, but I also from people that were in that prison said that day, and I might be wrong. So if my memory serves me correctly from speaking to him, that day he even had a visit with one of his lawyers, and he was very upbeat. That he was like in a good mood. He was he had long visit. Like, also people need to understand the process. When you get arrested, when you get indicted, when you go, he was so early in the process. You both are 100% right that there would be no reason for him to be even thinking that he would even be going away. Because first of all, he had so much money. He has so much lawyers. He has so much compromise. He has so much. It was just impossible for him. All of it. There was not. I mean, it's not. I can understand if he got sentenced like a Weinstein. When Weinstein got sentenced, all of a sudden we found him. You could see it. Okay, the guy can't.
But Weinstein didn't have 24 international outs. right? He
No,
didn't have.
no, 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 no. But I'm saying to you, but once the process is still early. Like I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
to you, like
Right.
until you get this, you do not. And being a defendant, I went to trial. Until you hear guilty, until hear those, those doors are being shut, or unless like for instance, he went like through a lot of. He didn't even go through too many. I don't think how many
Yeah.
bail hearings did he go through? Maybe one or
One.
two.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
He didn't even. I mean, it was so early in the thing. He didn't even have his legal team set up yet. Like,
Right.
like the powerhouse. I mean, that's what I'm saying to you. It's
You
just
only
none
so
of this.
there's two things. There's because I try to be like super objective and devil's advocate. There's two things that might have played a role in this. And number one is, and this is again, this is what his bunkie was saying, is he was pacing and saying he was going to fire his lawyers so that he wasn't happy with the legal team that he had, but also that when, and this is what he was claiming the first time around, um, the idea of like him snoring but not being asleep was he was completely sleep deprived. He said he hadn't slept in something like 19 days or something like that. And so if that is the case, then he may have been out of his mind and doing whatever. But and he also didn't have like a CPAP machine. He normally slept with a CPAP. He didn't have the CPAP with him, and so he wasn't sleeping. They were coming in, all the lights were on, all the noise. Uh, but but outside of that, yeah, it was so early in the process, and he had just his only experience was the Palm Beach like
I'll answer you that,
mock
Ali.
up.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's a great question, Ali, and I'll
Yeah.
answer it because there's a protocol there.
Hmm.
Because they're supposed, if you're not sleeping, if you're
Hmm.
not eating, they take you into medical.
Right.
They force you. I'll give you an example. I didn't eat for 2 weeks, but I had to lie and hide to
Hmm.
them because I couldn't eat the stuff. So what I would do
Right.
is I would actually pretend I was eating it, but I would flush it down the back. Because if you like, you can't go on a hunger strike. Like that's
Yeah.
like that. They give you a rule book. They actually give you a rule book.
When you get to
Actually,
jail, they give you.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Oh,
yeah. They
okay.
make they make it they make no no they make you watch very sick sexually videos about people getting assaulted in prison, and
Mhm.
how you see something, hear something after. I mean, it's very traumatizing. I mean,
Yeah.
and then they give you a handbook of what you cannot do, what you cannot have. But it's more of the handbook, not even for the shoe, because the shoe you can't have anything. That's the whole thing. You can't even have a pen. Just yes, and the pen that we would get in the shoe would be just the ink, and that there's no plastic, or it would be just the tip and the ink thingy. That's like the pen in the shoe.
Yeah.
Soap, even soap, it would be powdered.
Mhm.
What's it called? I mean, like I can't even get like the bed sheets. Like it's just the fact that and you gotta understand also, Epstein was not in prison yet. See, it's a
Yeah.
different when you're
No.
when you're when you're pre-trial, when you're in these like
Yeah, he was just
MDCC
being
and
held. Yeah, yeah,
right.
Hmm.
yeah.
You can't like see like you see reports of P Diddy now hanging out and doing his thing in prison. Prison's a different world now. When you get into
Yeah.
prison, you are able to use now money, and money talks in a big way. And people
Mhm.
like Epstein, they can't even really get extorted because they have so much money, because they
Right.
could just literally, you know what I'm saying to you. It's a different world, because
Yeah.
these people for $100 will literally kill somebody, let alone if he if he's going to give him thousands of dollars worth of food. I mean, what I'm saying to you, it's a different environment. Where he was and where Epstein was, uh, I don't consider these things privileges he was getting. I consider these things that he was being put in a position of constantly. I think they were putting him in a position of getting either shanked or getting, and eventually, I think they were trying to get rid of him,
Yeah.
because you don't put him in the yard, you don't let him go into a rec yard as a. First of all, everybody knowing how I mean, that's just when you said that, I can't even
Right.
understand. You don't put him in cellies. I mean, even if you do put him in the celly, let's say you're overcrowded, and somehow, I mean, I'm going to give him some kind of crazy thing. They put him because it happens. But then if you have an incident report, that's a major. When you have an incident report
Mhm.
and a suicide, how do you go from a 24-hour? I mean, none of this makes sense. Just from
Right.
being in there, knowing the procedures I went through.
Right.
I'll give you an example. When they took me out of my cell, Like literally, they would strip search me. They would handcuff me from head to toe. They would walk me. It's like it's a totally different product. It's not like just putting on some handcuff, folks, and walking you out. You are in a totally different level of, because it's meant to. You gotta remember, it's meant for the worst of the worst. They're using, and this is why I call it inhumane. We live in an inhumane world. Is that the prison system is using this as a way to protect you. So to protect you, they put you through such tormented of torture. There should be different ways of protecting by not going through a regimen that's meant for people that can't even be not only in society, but they can't live in a normal prison environment either. There's such a danger to everybody around them. They have to be on 23-hour lockdown because the
Mhm.
psychological effect is so brutal. I can't even tell you. And the fact that they could do that to a white collar criminal, a political prisoner, I mean, any of these people, not that I'm saying that any of them are innocent or deserve like some sort of preferential treatment, but I don't think you should be put in the same cell
No, but
with a
locking
guy
you
that,
up for a $2,500 campaign violation for 23 hours a day in the shoe next to a guy who's murdered 22 people is a bit fucked, is what you're saying,
well,
right?
but they did different. They charged me. See, originally people don't even know, and I'm going to show you guys. I got to get from my lawyer. My original indictment document that they signed, which then they tried to hide and rip up, and it disappeared. But my lawyer got a copy of it. Was espionage. I got charged with espionage. I
Mhm.
had no rights. I had zero rights. I mean, you don't understand. You saw all of that when we got arrested. They shut down Dole's airport. There was more police. It was just like a scene of what you saw with Maduro. They paraded us like this was, they planned that this was their whole plan to try, remember, because it was all, our arrest was the same theatrics. It was to do away, to take away at that time. Donald Trump didn't have the Epstein files looming.
Yeah,
He had
he was showing people he's taking care of that Russian hoax, right? Yeah.
no, it was the impeachment.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah, yeah, that's
impeachment.
right.
We got arrested in October. If you remember, the whistleblower complaint came out in September. A lot of people forget these things. In the
Mm.
whistleblower complaint, the first person, and it was even scrutinized, that Bill Barr didn't give it to the Gang of Eight or to the Congress. He took it and looked at himself and kept it to himself in the beginning because he saw what was in the whistleblower's complaint. And I was mentioned as one of Rudy's guys on the ground in Ukraine. So he knew that we would get subpoenaed by the Congress. He knew we would have to go test it. So the only way, how do you destroy that is you discredit me, you arrest me, you have me invoke my Fifth Amendment right not to against self-prosecution, and you try to put me in a corner to walk away. So I don't. They screwed
Mm.
up a little because they didn't realize that I wouldn't go away. But that was the plan. That was, what they were trying to do. So what I'm saying to you is Epstein was nowhere near any psychological what's it called, just even speaking to his own brother,
Mhm.
speaking to his lawyers, you're hearing from a lot of different people saying he was not, this is, I mean, to commit suicide, it takes a lot, but to commit suicide the way he did, it's
Mhm.
beyond, because
It's
it's
almost
one thing.
virtually impossible, according to every
You have
third
to
party
go and get
autopsy expert. Yeah,
your
coroner.
body automatically is going to
Yep.
try to stop it. I mean, you
Right.
got to like literally sit there and like choke. I mean, it's like,
Yeah, like
that's,
it would take an intense amount, unless he fell
right.
asleep again, but like
Yeah,
it
I
would
mean,
take an
listen,
intense amount of willpower to just sit there until he passed out. And it
Well,
was
and I
done.
think that the purpose of the distraction of the Venezuelan thing this weekend served a purpose to distract everybody from the idea that Ellie Leonard probably uncovered another suicide attempt by Jeffrey Epstein, and then we can fill in the rest because we have pretty much all of that information, which now makes even less sense that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. And you throw that on top of the fact Congress is back today, and you throw that on top of the fact that they're derelict in their duty in paying attention to the Epstein Files Transparency Act, and you put that on top of the fact that Congress isn't fucking around. MAG is on a mass exodus plan, specifically about 47 to 55. Different House and Senate Republicans are getting ready to either quiet quit, not show up for work, or just resign. I believe today is Jewish space laser lady's last day as well, Marjorie Taylor Greene. And you have a perfect distraction this weekend that gets people not only to not even invest time in this original suicide attempt by Epstein and all the fuckery with his roommates that happened and all the special privileges that happened after that. No one's paying attention to it. Now no one's paying attention to anything to do with their dereliction of duty at the DOJ and the impeachment of Pam Bondi. Like, nobody is talking about that today, to your point, Leb, which is why it was really important to have both of you guys on today to wrap it up, because this weekend was the distraction, wag the dog, cock up that everybody's been waiting for. And 120 Venezuelans had to fucking die for it.
Yeah. Well, we want the most important thing that I want everybody out to know there, that the three of us, and there's some other really powerful people on Substack with us, that we are not going to let the Epstein files go away. We are not going to allow them to change the news cycle. We are going to fight that, and we're going to call out anybody that is not talking about the Epstein files, because yes, again, is this news? 100%. Should everybody be reporting on it? Yeah. 15 minutes. 10 minutes, not 40, not the whole day, weeks, months. There's nothing happening. We got him. He's in prison. Donald Trump broke the law. That's it. That's the whole story, folks. He's in prison. Donald Trump broke the law. Now the next case is he's not going to be in front of a judge until March. Now you're going to see a lot of telenovela play out. You're going to see a lot of filings happening. You're going to see a lot of back and forth. You're going to see all these pundits and journalists all over TV, lawyers talking about how he can, how he can't. And you got, the other thing is I'm reading all these letters people are putting on Substack, and I don't even have time already. I just read a little bit about people talking about how, oh, now he's going to get off. This judge is going to let him off. He's not getting off, folks. I don't care how Judge Hellerstein could be the biggest Democrat, and Nicolas Maduro is a criminal. That's not what's being debated, folks. What's we're talking about. That's why what Trump wants you to. This is the trap, and I wrote about that he's setting up for the Democrats. And me and Waj, that's why we went last night late, Ellie, is because the trap he's setting up for them is for them to now try to protect Maduro's rights. By protecting Maduro's rights, they're going to right now ready to have a whole campaign prepared about saying
Dems love dictators, socialist dictators. That's what this country's going to be if you don't vote for me. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying to you, for the Dems out there, and that's why I'm making my call, and that's why I hope each and every one of you that are following us, subscribe to us. Our call to action this today, yesterday, and every day this week until we get the media is to make sure that make your emails, make your phone calls, not only to your Congress people, but also to the media. Send out, let the media know. We don't want to hear about every single what Maduro ate for dinner today, and if there was a rat running around Maduro. That does not save our democracy. We want the Epstein files released. We want to know the names of the people that are being scrubbed. We want to know what's being destroyed. We want to know who Donald Trump is protecting. We want to know have accountability. We want to have impeachment proceedings start. Even if you're scared to go after Donald Trump right now, you're ready to go after Pam Bondi and Kash Patel and Todd Blanche and a whole bunch of people. And believe me, once you start going, the dominoes are going to start falling like what's going on. That's what we need to concentrate, because that's going to give us our country back. Then, guys, we could go, because just think about it. We have the economy. We have the things that he's doing in Ukraine.
Jack Smith's testimony.
The fact that he just did it. All of this is just think about last time what he did when the Epstein files
tearing down the fucking White House. How many more examples do you need?
Think about but think about the last thing he did. The last time there was supposed to be big news on the Epstein files, all of a sudden he announced that he's going to do a summit with Vladimir Putin and rolled out the red carpet.
And if you remember, previous to that G7, that's when he bombed Iran, and the Epstein files were starting. I mean, this guy has bombed. I don't know if you know this. Donald Trump has bombed 6 countries in 2025. Eight.
No, but he stopped 15 wars, Dean.
Oh my God! Yeah, well, you got to add the 8 wars he stopped with the 7.
The math plays out.
But think about that. Think about all the bombings, like 8 different bombings of sovereign countries. No president that has served 2 consecutive terms has that kind of bomb count on their fucking CV.
What do you mean
That's
He's
all he
done it, and
wants.
he's done it in 10 months. 10 months. He forget two
Yeah.
terms. He's done it.
That's all
By
he,
the
that's
way,
10 months.
all he cares about. Like and I will say this, and then I got to go run and get my kids off the bus. But the idea of him saying that he will not run again, because he said it way back when, is semantics. He doesn't
thank
plan on
you,
running again. He doesn't plan on there being a need to run again. He doesn't plan
thank
on
you,
there being elections. And that's
thank
why
you.
we got to jump on this 2026, because like he can do it with the midterms. He could do it now because he knows he's screwed. So don't like take heart in the idea of him not running again. He has no plans to run again. He doesn't think he needs to. So just don't forget that.
I'm
Hard to forget
100%.
it, Ellie. Hard to forget it because we've had two of the best on the planet. The best Epstein Files researcher, Ellie Leonard. Hit that Chiron. Give her a follow. She is,
Everybody make sure
oh my
subscription.
God.
Not only follow. Make sure, folks, family, not only subscribe, but Ellie, this is her first day. A lot of you might not know, as a full time here on Substack. She's going. She is now going to feed her kids by doing this. So, folks, if you've ever considered to become a paid subscriber, now's the time. Subscribe to Ellie. Become a paid subscriber, folks. I keep telling you, this is how these algorithm works. If you want our information, the stuff that Ellie's working on, I'm working on. It's the way the algorithm is. We need the more paid subscribers, the more they put your news up front, the more they put your information, the more the algorithm make it spread. So it's, we know it's difficult. We know there's a lot, but there's very people important. And Ellie's one of the good ones, and she needs it. So come on, family, make sure, let's
Yeah.
give her today. Let's put a smile on her face when she comes home and sees all of those new paid subscribers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll always keep, I know that not everybody can, so I keep my stuff free, because I think
Absolutely.
especially now, like we just need as much information as possible. So if you can't afford to yet, I will still make my stuff available, because
That's right.
I just want this stuff to be out here.
God bless you. Ellie Leonard, thank you so much. Panicked Writer on Substack. Give her a follow right now.
Thanks,
Subscribe
guys.
as well. Thank you, sister. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, see ya.
She is incredible. Dude, I absolutely I love that woman so much.
Great.
She's been pounding away at Substack, and she's so vulnerable. And there's so many of us here that have similar stories. I didn't just hop onto Substack with millions of dollars and just game the system. I came here a broken man. You came here a somewhat broken man. Ellie Leonard's been pounding away at writing for years on Substack. Now, because of the Epstein stuff, because she performs a service out of the passion and the duty to the people that she serves, as you do, as I do. We're now in a position to be able to help and amplify those voices. It's very important to hit the Chiron at the top. Give Lev a follow. And to his point, Lev remembers, give him a follow. Make sure you do it now. Subscribe. Those paid subs, they get us to the top of pretty much every list. And when you pay to subscribe, whether it's monthly, annually, founding members, God, we love you all. What it does is it forces that content to the front of the queue. And so you make it an undeniable opportunity for people to actually get facts, information, and the affirmation of what they know to be true by becoming a paid subscriber. We want this to be available to everybody. We don't paywall much, and when we do, it's just for paid subscribers to get a couple little extras. But those extras are important, like Q&A, coming on and talking with us, being a co-host on Coffee and Tea with Lev and Dean on Saturday mornings. Lev does Story Time, which is incredible, reading from Shadow Diplomacy. Encourage everybody to go and get that book right now, wherever you can get it. Lev Parnas, Shadow Diplomacy, anywhere you can get that
And
book,
by the way,
please do.
before we go, we
Yeah.
have a little special for you. I have some pictures to share with you guys. We have
Cool.
a little over 2,300 people here. Hit those hearts, spread the message. I'm going to show you some
1.5
stuff.
here. So now we're at 123, 1.5. We're at 3.8 if my math is good. So
Beautiful.
that's a great fucking day. Yeah. Thank you all. Thank you.
God bless each and every one of you. Keep spreading the message. Just keep hitting those chirons, and very importantly, the message. So I'm going to just share some stuff with you. So this was one of the things a lot of you might have not seen, but it's actually in Shadow Diplomacy, and I recommend you guys get, not because it's only a great read, but it connects the dots to a lot of the things that are going on. It's the same playbook,
Bro, it's the playbook for right now. It's the
especially
playbook
Venezuela.
for
I mean,
yes.
Ukraine and Venezuela, folks, I can't even explain to you. So, what Trump is talking about is was the original contract in 2019 that we signed with, as you see, the company PDVSA State.
Yeah.
This was the Venezuelan PDVSA company. It's in Spanish. We would have to break it up, and I'll get it.
That was the contract that you did, getting 2 billion barrels of oil for the U.S. and Maduro's out of town, right?
2 billion, not for the U.S. 2 billion barrels for our crew, for the group that was setting up, which included all of these names that I said.
Oh, dude, you were so close to billions.
Another thing I want to show you about how serious, some of these things in Venezuela are, and that a lot of it was not a joke. This is like pictures that would be sent to me from while Maduro and during the invasion and everything. This is from Venezuela that was being sent to me from like opposition while this is going on. Just so you
Whose
understand.
whose guns and ammo is that?
This is a group that was protecting Maduro around Maduro, and PDVSA, the state company, and you're gonna see some very just. I want to warn you, some pictures are not for the faint of heart. So if you don't want to see, so please turn off now. Don't look at viewer discretion advised. As you will see, was a takeover of PDVSA. This is how they did in the first administration. While Donald Trump, me and Rudy were playing golf at Trump International, as you could see it. Then these are the players in Venezuela. These are the actual people right now behind the scenes right now that are right now in Venezuela. This is Maduro's lawyer, and also one of the people that are involved in these conversations. As you can see,
this is in a Venezuelan boardroom. That's Che Guevara on the wall. There's Hugo Chavez on the other wall. Yeah.
These are Americans looking at this is the Venezuela oil fields. You see, these are Trump donors walking around picking out.
Oh my God, are you serious? These are Trump donors that have gotten access to Venezuelan oil fields, and you got wives there taking pictures and selfies in front of oil. Oh my God.
Yeah. This is just so this
is probably happening right now in Venezuela. You probably have the
now is even crazier. Now is basically they're literally breaking up and talking about it's crazy what's going on. So just want to share some. Oh, I want to show you something else. Because there's a lot of people. I was on Waja's show, and so a lot of people still don't remember my story fully, and they talk to me and they say, "Hey, Lev, Donald Trump really says he doesn't know you. You say you know him. It's pictures and stuff like that." So I found this letter I wanted to share with you. Hold on a second. I just shared it with Dean.
I know it's coming. It's fucking unbelievable. For a guy that doesn't know you, this is the kill shot. If all the pictures and the videos of you hanging out with Trump, handing him secret envelopes, arranging, access for millions of dollars, introducing him to people, getting money for that with your group, this fucking letter, when it comes to Trump's denial of knowing Lev Parnas, is truly spectacular.
This is something I want to show you. I just see. Also, you gotta keep in mind, a lot of my stuff is still under seal. Like Bill Barr they sealed a lot of my stuff, and I'm only getting certain stuff. And my lawyer sent me this. I'm going to show you. Hold on a second.
Ehrenberg?
No, my Ehrenberg is currently. This is my lawyer from
before.
Where did I just show you the letter from? Hold on a second. This is crazy. I just literally.
Dude, we're not good with going through our camera rolls. You know that.
Oh my God.
I'm bad at it. Every time I try to look for a picture, I'm like, what the fuck? Where is this picture? What year did I take that? What month was that in? Everybody's the same.
Hold on a second. What's this? Oh, you might hear this? This is cool. This is an audio by Rudy Giuliani this is an audio recording about you talk about espionage about. I don't know if you're not gonna hear it. I got these things.
Yeah, we can hear it. If you just take it off. Yeah. Just take it.
Okay.
Oh no, you should probably take your headphones off and pump it in.
Yeah. Oh yeah, okay. I want to show you this letter. Hold on, I gotta get you this letter. Oh, this is a cool one. Oh, I gotta show you this. This nobody's ever seen. This is a breakdown I'm gonna give one day. I'm gonna show everybody. This is the chart. Everybody's in the loop. Take a like, who was doing what. The bar is. I mean, let me see. Hold on. Is this good? Can you see it like this?
Yeah, we can see it now. It's sideways though. But that's just because of the way that you hold your thing. Oh my God, look at that! The president, Devin Nunes. So what is that? A flow chart of
It was
everybody and how they work through Trump? Is that right?
how everybody was in the loop. How
Yeah.
everybody was working in the flow chart of who was what. Hold on, I gotta show you.
Oh, buddy, you got to take a picture of that and throw it on Substack for people. If you're allowed, I would. The ultimate
Oh,
dot connector. You got
oh,
it?
you want to see it? This one. This is I just found this. Read this one. This is part of the evidence.
May 2017, it was understood that president needed Brian's help. Halkbank Riza, President Erdogan of Turkey visits U.S. and signs a deal with Brian Ballard. This is your writing?
this, yeah, this
Oh
was
my
evidence and on my track. This is like I introduced Trump to Erdogan. This is like I'm just going through. This is all the shit I'm going through right now. I want to show you that letter though. This is
Yeah.
hold on.
Yeah, folks, bear with us just for a second because this letter literally puts a poison-tipped arrow in the narrative that Donald Trump has of not knowing Lev Parnas, not working with Lev Parnas, not wanting anything to do with Lev Parnas. Specifically, I believe this letter is post-arrest, right? This is right after you got pumped?
Yes, this is right after my arrest. This is right after my arrest. Oh, actually, no. This is right before my arrest.
Okay.
Oh no, this is right after my arrest. You're right. No, this is right after because he had to. Oh, this is a good one. Nobody's ever seen this one before.
You get so excited.
Oh my God! Like this is what the shit that when we prosecute Rudy. Like, take a look at this agreement. Read this, Dean.
It's too small. I can't read it here. Can you read it to me? It's a memorandum from Giuliani's law office. Go ahead.
Yeah, here. Oh, it's bigger. I want you to read it. So it's
okay. Petrenko, Ministry of Justice, Republic. Pavlo Petrenko for the Ministry of Justice, Republic of Ukraine, hereby retains Giuliani Partners LLC and Victoria Tonsing, Joseph Di Genova to advise on the Ukrainian claims of recovery of sums of money in various financial institutions outside Ukraine. The Ministry of Justice agrees to pay $300,000 to Giuliani Partners Services. The agreement is temporary. It will be superseded as long as long-term agreement doesn't continue the services of Giuliani Partners for retainer, whatever remains. Does that get executed? He's the only guy to sign it. He's just looking for $300,000.
That was one of the ways
what
he
a
was
ferret. Oh my God. I'm telling you, dude. You need to do, you got it?
No, this is an interesting one. This is classified. It's unclassified now, but when I got it, it was classified. This is what I get sent from Rudy's secretary.
Okay, a little closer to the screen. I can't really see it. Hello, Mr. Giuliani. Just
see from where it's from and see. Take a look at what it says all around.
U.S. Department of State case file. No discernible classification. Good Lord.
Can you read?
Yeah, it's confidential. Office of the Secretary, U.S. Department of State.
So I'll read it to you. Hello, Mr. Mr. Giuliani just called our office. This is Pompeo's office, and confirmed via phone call that Secretary Pompeo will meet with him tomorrow, Friday, March 29th. So this is March 29th, 2019. We will plan for the State Operations Center to connect with Mr. Giuliani's cell. Please let us know. We are all waiting for further instructions how to proceed with the ambassador.
Oh, this is the Ukrainian ambassador that you guys pumped.
This is like literally the State Department, like it's unclassified. You can't even.
The State Department waiting to hear from you and Rudy Giuliani about what you guys plan on telling them to do with the ambassador from Ukraine.
Okay, hold on a second. This is
fucking awesome. It's like a goddamn banana republic.
Oh, you want another good one?
Yeah, of course. I always want another good one.
Look at the date and look at this is when we were dealing with Ukraine.
The date is 2018-07, July 6th to 7. Okay, this is to Petrovanko, February 13th, 2017. Petro Poroshenko, president of Ukraine. Oh my God, dear Mr. President. And myself called Ballard Partners wish to extend our best wishes and apologies for my inability to travel to Ukraine with you as I had planned. Oh my God, this is Brian Ballard again. Susie Wiles' old business partner. And Susie Wiles is the chief of staff for the president of these United States of America. Also, I don't know if you know this, Susie Wiles was also a lobbyist for Venezuela, as were the Ballards.
I'm just giving you some. So where is
it's all coming together, isn't it, friends?
Oh, there's a lot of stuff. Hold on, I want to give you this. I don't understand. We just had it, right? Did we, Dean?
Yeah, we did. I just saw it. You showed it to me before we went on. It's a great look. Do you want to tell people who it was from? And what it says, and then we can post it a little later on. You can put it in a post, or you can throw it up on Substack.
This is another good one. Before I put it, but I'll let you read another good one. I'll read this one. This is a really good one.
March 19, 2019, I just got all 261 pages of bank records that the FBI gathered showing transfers from Burisma Holdings to JP Morgan account in New York City via Cyprus and then into Hunter Biden's Devon Archer's personal accounts. There's at least $3.2 million that came from Burisma into the U.S. between 2014 and August 2016. One of the recipients looks to be a retirement account called Biden LLC. There are also payments, $85,000 watch and $125,000 antique car. Woo! Evidence of classic looting.
No, but take a look at the first part of it is we got it. This was a sealed documents the FBI gave us. I had all of Hunter Biden's bank records. Think about it.
Have you told him that?
Oh yeah, I told Hunter. Hunter almost took a shit. I said, Hunter, I had all your bank records. He was like,
you know what? I think when pictures of you smoking crack with your hog out are on the internet, I don't think you worry too much about your buddy having bank records. I think that's the least of your issues.
Oh wait, hold on a second. I think it's somewhere here. Oh, this is what you want to see one what's it called? We were setting up an interview with CBS and Nicolas Maduro.
Yep.
This was in there you go, Dean.
Which one's this? To whom it may concern, I would like to request a television interview with President Nicolas Maduro on behalf of CBS News signature program, 60 Minutes. Portions of the yeah. And I bet you that 60 Minutes interview is going to be very different now.
but just think about who they were sending this to. This is what I'm trying to say to you. The gatekeeper, like this is what people don't understand. That when I say I was involved in all of this shit. Oh, hold on. Oh, I found the Parvesa contract. This is the whole contract. Okay.
Why haven't you posted this stuff, dude?
Oh, I'm gonna do some different stuff because you know what happens is you post it and you get a little. I'm trying to actually save our democracy. I'm not trying to do clickbait.
Yeah, you're not clickbait. Yeah.
So I'm planning on doing. That's why I put our GoFundMe together. That's why I'm putting this whole phase one whole plan together, because when we go on the road, when I'm going to be debating, when I'm going to have these town halls, I'm going to have all the stuff ready. So
Yeah.
this way, when I have all of these right wingers sitting there saying, "Well, you didn't," I say, "Well, wait a second. Let's put this on the screen." Well, Trump didn't know you. Oh, well, let's put this on the screen. Well, oh, well, this didn't happen. How do you know Venezuela? Well, let's put this. I have over like 13,000 emails, text messages. That's what I'm saying to you. That's why I need a team to help me put together, and strategically, that's why we're building in this powerhouse of a team. What is this?
Maybe check your email for it.
Oh, this is a good one.
Okay.
Ooh, this is really good. So this is okay. So this is one of the original gangs, Venezuela gangs, back in 2019. This is in Washington D.C. You see some of the actual co-chair of the National Committee, but this is some of the notes I took. You could see it's at the Trump Hotel. I don't know if you can read them. Listen, look how interesting what it says there about the oil and about using drugs as an excuse for it at the bottom.
150 oil. Can you hold it up just a little bit higher for me?
Yeah.
So I can read the bottom.
Yeah.
150 oil production, U.S. jobs. Oh, these are your talking points.
Yeah.
Check on OPEC, Iran. Yeah, drugs. Drugs are the excuse.
Wow. Wow. This is 2000, folks. This is at the Trump Hotel. This is August 28, 2018.
They've been gaming that fucker for a long time, the drugs, right? Like that's it. That's
August,
the only thing they have.
that was the excuse. August 28. Hold on, let me
It's
see.
still the fucking excuse. And it's still not true. That's the crazy part.
Hold on. Okay, we'll give it one more say. If I can't find it, we'll do it. I'll post it at a different time. But I think it would be important.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lev is just going through his camera roll. He's looking for an email that proves without a shadow of a doubt that Donald Trump knows him. Yeah, not only knows him, but offered to help him and then fucked him deeply, dearly, with conviction.
Oh, here it is. I got it.
Nice. All right.
You see, one thing, I'm very determined, folks. You can see that if I decide that we're gonna do something, we're gonna do it. So this, I want everybody to pass this around to everybody for the whole world to see. This is after my arrest, when Donald Trump went on TV saying he doesn't know who the hell I am and what's going on. Read this, please.
Yes, happy to. Hold it up a little higher, please, if you can. This is from John Dowd and Jay Sekulow. These were personally Trump's lawyers back October 2nd, 2019. So from Jay Sekulow, John, this is an email to John Dowd. I have discussed the issue of representation with the president. The president consents to allowing your representation of Mr. Parnas and Mr. Furman. Signed, Jay Sekulow, lawyer to the president. Pretty sure he knew you.
I mean, so
the fucking lies, ladies and gentlemen. Lev Remembers is the name of Lev Parnas' Substack account. Go give him a follow right now. Hit that chiron at the top if you can. Hammer those hearts. Hammer that square at the bottom with the arrow as well. Share this with as many people. And again, want to bring this back. Paid subs take us to the top of the news algorithm. They put us in charge of the narrative. So if that's something you could do, great. If not, we don't really paywall anything. And so if you want all access to all the things that we do, you'll still probably get it, with the exception of a few bells and whistles, a few chats, et cetera, et cetera. But we want you to come with us on this journey. We are building the resistance. We want you to hit that GoFundMe. We're going to put that in the post after we post it. We want you to join Lev's volunteer team. Lev HTTP.
Yeah, it's levpttp at proton.me.
Yeah,
levpttp pttp at proton.me.
yeah.
So please, yeah, everybody, we're growing. We're actually expanding. We already have some assistants to assistants, so it's incredible. Jay is putting together a monster team. We're also this week planning on meeting with the professionals. They're going to set up the infrastructure. We're doing amazing on the GoFundMe. We have close to 80,000 raised. We need, that's almost halfway there. Thank you. God bless you. Keep going. If you can't, give more. If you can't, spread it out. This hopefully will be the last time we need to keep raising money, because part of putting together this infrastructure is a way to be able for this machine to be able to run smoothly. So then we could do this because once we set up the infrastructure, then the grassroots movement kicks in. Then it's you guys, us. We got plans like you're not even ready for. Definitely, we're going to be out there, and I appreciate everybody out there. But the number one thing is we need and I'm realizing more and more, it's the way these algorithm works, this paid subscriber stuff. I know it's out, but I hope, $8 or whatever everybody charges, do your best to support the important ones that you think their information needs to get out, because that's part of it, the way these algorithm works. And I hate keep asking you guys for it, because like I said, we don't have any paywall. I don't have any paywalls. I know none of the people.
We don't
We're
have
trying to,
corporate partners, none of
right.
that
We
stuff.
don't
Yeah.
have, yeah, our job is to get you the information. But like Dean said, for the paid subscribers, we try to do something special. So the other thing we're gonna work on doing, Dean gave me a great idea. So for you guys that besides coming up, participating in the conversation, besides having coming up and talking to us and being in those little segments, story time with Lev, we're gonna put together a new segment only for paid subscribers. And this is the only thing, because it has nothing to do with classified information or giving you out. It's part of being a part of history and seeing stuff that nobody else seen. We're gonna do like I'm gonna start putting together a photo, video album of never before seen stuff that
Contracts, documents, pictures, videos.
documents.
It's kind of like you do story time with Lev, but you like show and tell with Lev.
It'll be like show and tell. Some of the stuff will go out because it's evidence, and it'll be go out in newsletters. But a lot of the stuff you'll see that nobody's ever seen behind the scenes with Rudy and me and others in Ukraine and UK and Vienna and Spain. All kinds of stuff. I can't even tell you. Video recordings of meetings in Mar-a-Lago with Donald Trump and Pete Sessions and some very important bankers that nobody's ever heard of before. A lot of text messages. I mean, pictures. I can't even tell you. But I just
Just tell
don't
me,
have.
please tell me, you're just going to use this also as an opportunity, not just to inform and give people ammo, but to take down the Trump twins,
Oh
Uday
yeah,
and
well.
Kusei,
Oh yeah, well
Eric and
that's
Donnie
yeah,
J.
yeah. Oh, that they're first. That's gonna happen automatically, because once Donald falls, these two is Dingbat are they won't know what to do with themselves, because they're so screwed. I can't even tell you. They're just right now. They're just enjoying the high life while they can, because
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna come to an end soon. And the number one thing before we go, I want to make sure again. We have almost 3,000 people, over 3,000 people here, folks. The message of the day, the most important thing I want everybody to take out of what's happening today is that go out there, make your phone calls. We have a major call to action happening right now. The call to action is that we will not, to make sure they release the Epstein files, to hold them accountability, to turn the news cycle away from this Maduro raid. It's bad. It's done. The only way we will be able to actually make differences in our country, for those of you that joined us late, I want to make it very clear. We have a lot of things that are happening and a lot of things that need to get fixed. The only way we could fix them is by getting rid of Donald Trump. Once we could get rid of Donald Trump and put in a normal, common sense, president that will be able to work with it, then we could go into talking about all these different policies, all these different ideas, and all these different things. Right now, the number one thing that we have that unites this country, and folks, I can't make this more clear, and I can't keep saying it over and over again. Our country, the world is divided. We have a right wing and a left wing happening. We can't agree on almost anything. We have people at each other's throats. Families are not sitting down at Christmas, Hanukkah, or Thanksgiving dinners because of politics. That's how divided we are, except for one thing. There is one thing that unites almost every single person in this world, not just this country, except for some of the actual pedophiles and the actual criminals that are part of it. Because, like we said, 87% support, there are those 13 that are the actual criminals. They all support the release of the Epstein files. They all support. We have a bipartisan group, Republicans, Democrats, that are ready to file accountability for Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and others to be able to unredact all of these names, find out what's being erased. Then, by getting that control back, folks, we'll be able to then go after Maduro, what he did in Venezuela. We'll be able to go after him, what he did in the Middle East. We'll be able to go after him, what he's doing with our economy. We'll be able to go after him, what he's doing in Ukraine and Russia.
Real oversight.
We will be able to go over exactly about what he's doing with ICE, immigration. We will be able to fix all that. But to be able to fix it, I've been screaming and saying it from the first day I came to this platform, is we need to take the gavel back. We need some sort of accountability. We have that opportunity right now. We don't have to wait till the midterms in 2026, because today, January 5th, there's things happening. There are already people like Marjorie Taylor Greene that's not coming in. She's retired. There are people that we're hearing are going to boycott Republicans, and they're going to take long-term vacations. And there are real Republicans that have joined. Take a look at how many. It was unanimous, except for one idiot. It was unanimous that everybody voted to release the Epstein files. That's how united this country is on that one subject. So please, I beg of you, as important as a lot of subjects are, like economy, like this thing that happened in Venezuela, what's happening in Ukraine and everywhere else, and my heart bleeds for everybody, for all these people that are dying, for all the people, but they're getting hurt. But the only way we could save everybody focus, keep the blinders on, don't get distracted by anything else right now until we get resolution and accountability for the Epstein files. That will bring our country back together. That will then destroy the cabal of the real criminals, pedophiles, and corruption that's going behind the scenes. And then, folks, then we could get back to debating whatever you guys want to debate. Talk about any policy you want to talk about. Talk about any criminal acts that Donald Trump or Uday and Huday and Twiddledee and Twiddledum did. We could do all of that, but to get that done, we're not going to get it done by just talking about watching Maduro for the next 2 weeks being led up and down, pictures of him being in a red jumpsuit.
Flying in helicopters. Yeah. We don't need that.
Doesn't do anything for us. Doesn't do anything for us to try to pretend and listen to Trump's bullshit that he's running Venezuela. Folks, it's a theatrics. It's a play. The administration didn't change. It's all the same. Nothing happened. Don't get distracted. You know what I'm saying to you? This is all keep on the file. So anyway, folks, I don't know how to say it all. I'm going to have Eric Funjali back on, who is the Epstein lawyer this week. I'm working on. I'm going to have Congressman Raskin on and make sure to keep their feet to the fire about the Epstein files. I have calls out to Congressman Massey and Ro Khanna to get them on. I'm going to make sure that this week, no matter what we do, is we make sure that the Epstein files and accountability is being put on the front page and not behind on some back page. And I need your help, and I need our team to go out there and do what you do, just like we did with the Midas Touch, just like we did with everybody else. Go out there right now and flood the zone. Emails, text messages. Our volunteers are going to be on it. If you haven't become a volunteer, join the group right now. Let our voices be heard. And that means also when you go on to this, because all day People are going to be doing all of these podcasts. They're going to be doing these Substack lives. People are giving opinions. When you go on there, folks, and you subscribe to a lot of them, you go listen to a lot of them. And I'm not telling you to go argue with them. I'm not telling you to be divisive, because we're united, not divisive. But I want to make sure that you guys, when you go on there and you type in these chats and you're talking to these people, that you spread the right message, to keep focused, that we don't right now need to spend all this time on Maduro. We need to make sure to release the Epstein files. We will have time to get to Maduro. We will have time to get accountability for all of the things that Donald Trump did. Right now, today, January 5th, Congress is in session, and we want to know what is going on with the release of the FC files, what is going on with the accountability of the procedures against Pam Bondi and everybody else. And that is the number one thing. And if you listen to me, I promise you, as God is my witness, we will be back here a month or two from now. It won't even be, we won't have to wait till the midterms. We will be here a month from till now with the gavel, talking about how we have subpoenas, how we have real accountability taking place. So right now, that's what we need you guys to do. Make your voices be loud and heard.
What a great way to end off the weekend roundup with Lev Parnas. My name is Dean Blundell. Don't forget, Lev Remembers is where you can go and subscribe. Hit that Chiron at the top, levremembers.com. It's where you can also get Shadow Diplomacy, his incredible book, which is really the playbook for what we're going to be talking about after we get Trump out of office. And to that point, it's a waste of time. Waste of time talking about lawyers, waste of time talking about process, waste of time talking about U.S. law, international law. Sure, we can have those conversations, but if you want to have that conversation, you want to have those conversations that have teeth, we need to get the fucker out of office. Lev, as always, it is so good to catch up with you, my friend. Love you.
You too, my
You
brother.
have a
Love you,
great day. You make sure that you take care of that family today. Keep smiling, and I'm sure I'll see you either tonight or tomorrow or the next day. We talk all the
no.
time.
We got a lot going on. I have 3 more shows lined up. I don't know.
Today?
Today's gonna be a crazy day, folks. Just stay tuned. Lots of news, because as I promised you, I'm going to make sure that today is a day where I'm going to make sure that everybody keeps their message on the Epstein files. I am not going to lie. I will be there. I will be joining their lives. I will be there with you guys. And if they want to bring me up, I will be coming up, because I want to make sure that we do not distract, not allow, because I've spoken to people on the inside in Trump's world, and this is their number one plan right now. Today is the day where they're trying to push really hard to keep more and more away, and to get the conversation and the debate away from the Epstein files, instead about Maduro's attack, why we arrested him, if it's legal or not, if he's a drug dealer, what the case is. It's all irrelevant. That does not save our economy, folks. That does not save our democracy, and that does not help the people of Venezuela. The only way we can help the people of Venezuela, the only way we can help the people in the Middle East and Palestine and Israel, the only way we can help people in Europe and Ukraine, and the only way we can help ourselves, Canada, Greenland, and the people in Panama, is by getting Donald Trump and stopping Project 2025 in its tracks, stopping Russell Vought, Stephen Miller, stopping this machine before it gets too late. And we have the opportunity, and it's called the Epstein files, folks. And right now we have a law. Just think about it. We have a law. We have a bipartisan, everybody's on it. Everybody is agreed. It's the only thing the Americans, Canadians, the whole world can agree on. So don't take your foot off the pedal. Don't take your eye off the ball. Keep the attention, and don't listen to what they say. As I say, watch what they do. And that's the most important thing. And we need to start doing.
Love you, baby. We'll talk to you soon. Lev Parnas, ladies and gentlemen. Go and give him a sub. Hit that Chiron at the top. I'll watch for you later on all day long today. Follow Lev. You get notifications, and you don't want to miss a minute of his time. Thanks, pal. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care, my brother. Have a great day, guys.
You too, guy. Take care. There's Lev Parnas, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to hop on, hopefully, the 5-stack with my friend Zev Shalev, and I think I'm like 48 minutes late for that. So, anyway, give us a sub if you can. That'd be great. Share this with as many people. That's the most important thing you could do. Have a great day, everybody. Hopefully, we'll see you in a couple minutes with the 5-stack. If not, I'm going to profusely apologize to Zev for being 48 minutes late for 5-stack. But take this as part of the 5-stack, maybe just a little saw off. You enjoy it? But have a great day, everybody. We'll see you soon. And don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share. And don't forget to be confident in democracy and the fact that you're right. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you soon.